to grow the National Federation of. So, um, we're going to begin with a moment of silence for those that we've lost along the way this past year. So, thank you. Thank you. Now, every year I stand up here and I talk about the relationships and the partnerships that we as an organization, um, share with whether it's policymakers, whether it's whether it's senators, representatives, and we're going to play a little clip from Senator Mark Kelly, uh, who has been a very, very staunch supporter of the National Federation of the Blind. So, you got it ready, Joe? Okay. There. Senator Kelly is obviously a great piano player. While Joe is getting the clip ready, I'm going to take presidential prerogative and have a seat. As many of you know, I was hospitalized as recently as last week, so standing takes quite a bit of energy from me. I want to talk a little bit about the partnerships because of what we discussed last night in our philosophy session. You know, and we talked a lot about individuals who are part of our organization, as well as people who are not necessarily part of our organization, or if they are, they're not blind individuals. Um, we, on a political side, don't really take official political positions. We don't really say, we pledge our support to one party or the other. As an organization, we work to push through legislation that will benefit blind people. And as an organization, we want to work with individuals regardless of what their affiliation is, what their where they come from. We want to make sure that we welcome and accept individuals who are here in support of the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona. So, I would like to, thank those individuals that are here today. Are we about ready, Joe? Huh? Let's go.
Senate, I've seen how technology can change lives. But technology.
Need to back it up.
Hey folks, it's Senator Mark Kelly. I am so sorry that I can't be there in person, but I wanted to take a moment to congratulate the National Federation of the Blind on your 80th convention. And thank you for everything you do to expand opportunity and independence for blind and low vision Arizonans. Throughout my career in the Navy and at NASA and now in the Senate, I've seen how technology can change lives. But technology only lives up to its potential if everyone can use it. That's why accessible technology matters. It creates opportunities, opens doors, and helps people live more independently. That's also why I've been proud to support bipartisan efforts like the Access Technology Affordability Act, which would help make assistive technology more affordable for the people who rely on it every day. I know Arizona's population is getting older. Today, more than 40% of blind Arizonans are over the age of 65. And that number is expected to grow significantly over the next several years. That means the work you're doing and the conversations you're having at this convention are only becoming more important. What I appreciate about the National Federation of the Blind is your unwavering commitment to ensuring blindness never defines a person's potential. Your focus is on making sure everyone has the opportunity to participate fully in their community. That's an idea worth supporting. So thank you for your advocacy and your leadership, and congratulations again on 80 years of making Arizona stronger. And I hope you have a great convention.
I'd like to send out a thanks to Senator Kelly and his staff for working with us to produce that video so that we would have it here for today. Now, we have a full agenda during the lunch hour. We have quite a few individuals that we'd like to hear from them, and I'm going to jump right in it and start with we have representative from legislative District 18, and that is Nancy Gutierrez, and I would like to welcome Nancy Gutierrez to the podium today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm Nancy Gutierrez. I represent LD18, which is Tucson, so a little bit of Marana and Oro Valley, all of the foothills, and then we go out east past Wrightstown and Pantano. But truly, I also serve as the Assistant Minority Leader in the House, and I'm the ranking member on the Education Committee. I'm a classroom teacher and very, very pleased to be with you here today. And I see some folks that I recognize because you've come up and talked to me about issues in the House of Representatives. So thank you. Thank you for coming and bringing folks to talk with representatives and senators in the Arizona State Legislature. Today, I'm just grateful to be here and listen to you all and hear what we can do better to represent you in our state house. We are in charge of the state budget, and I will be honest, the Arizona state budget has not done enough to support you all. We do fund some money for blind Arizonans through DES, but it's not enough. And you all have come and talked to me about that in my office, and it is always my intention to support you better. We also need to do better for our Arizona School for the Deaf and Blind here in Tucson and the Tucson campus. And the colleagues that I work with in my party are absolutely committed to that. I am always available to you, even if I'm not your representative. If you don't live in LD18, you know, there's lots of legislators in Southern Arizona, but it doesn't matter to me if I am not your particular representative. You can always get a hold of me, and I'm happy to meet with you right here in Tucson, or if you happen to live in Phoenix, we can meet there. I don't have your experiences in life, so by you coming and talking to me about them, that's how I learn how to support you best. So thank you for those of you. Can you all, can we see a round of hands up in the air for me if you have ever talked to your state or a state representative about how to clap your hands, please. That's fantastic. I know sometimes it probably feels, because I know sometimes it feels for me like you're not getting to where you want to be with them, but repetition is key, and we absolutely appreciate your voices here in Tucson and around the state. So I'm here really to listen and to gain knowledge so that I can be a better representative for you in the state legislature. So thank you all so much for having me. And it is our goal to support you more with funding and support the resources that you all need to have. So thank you.
I'd like to give a thanks to Representative Gutierrez. She said something that we touched on last night during the philosophy session. And when she was speaking, she said that she doesn't have our experience. And that goes to that authentic blind experience. But the key thing was she said that she learns from what we share with her. And when you look at our constitutions, one of the goals, one of the missions of each and every one of us is to help educate other individuals so that they have a better understanding of that authentic blind experience. Or they're whispering in my ear for a door prize. Is anybody interested in a door prize? There's only one name in there, right? Mine? No, no. What do we got?
Oh, she needs a mic. Kimberly needs a mic.
We're coming. Is there dessert on the table? What is it? Which one?
Thank you, Reggie. All right. Are we ready for the first prize? Scenario? Oh, what is it? What's the prize? All right. We've got 1 second. Cold beer and cheeseburgers. $50 gift certificate.
Where?
Okay. So, Zenaria? Wasif. Is Zenaria here? Bing, bing. All right, the next one. Mara? Is Mara here? Mara, that's you! Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Mara, where are you? Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
Okay, let's keep it moving because we have individuals that will need to depart us. They have busy schedules. So next, I'd like to call to the podium an individual who works hard here in Tucson to ensure that individuals such as you, such as me, have a voice that can be heard, within our local government. And so next I'd like to call to the podium Councilman Paul Cunningham.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let's get some good afternooniness going, Round of applause for President Donald. Come on, man. clap if you use the Sunvan? All right. Well, we're trying to improve that, so let's talk about that. First of all, a big shout out to the convention committee for allowing me to come here, and congratulations to NFB on the 80th anniversary. Yeah, sure, go ahead. I also want to thank Amy Porterfield and the entire team at Savvy for raising expectations of what blind individuals can achieve, providing outstanding services to the community, and being such a positive force for inclusion in our community. And that's just something that they do. They do a great job. And, NFB, even though it's based in Maryland, does an amazing job advocating for many of you, and that's special. Today we're going to talk about 3 issues. We're going to talk about Chapter 25. We're going to talk about Sunvan and paratransit, and we're going to talk about some website accessibility within the city and some stuff we can do. First, for Chapter 25, that's our Public Safety and Accessibility Code. It provides all the legal authority when it comes to constructing streets, sidewalks, public rights-of-way, balancing infrastructure and accessibility. All that stuff goes into Chapter 25. And historically, we placed a lot of the liability and responsibility on private landowners and kind of said, oh, you're grandfathered in, gee whiz. But through our office and through my aide, Chris Desborough, give Chris a round of applause. We're starting to see a few changes. We're not going to rely primarily on code enforcement to repair non-compliant sidewalks, where we've helped out with some money and helped out with some advocacy of the Department of Transportation for TDOT to take better stewardship of those. And so I'm really happy about some of the progress that we're making there. Now, the second thing I want to talk about today is paratransit on demand. And right now, we're facing some significant challenges with all the things that we're investing into our transit system. The issue that we're having on Sunvan with 24 to 7-day waits, having to book 24 and 7-day waits, having multiple riders so your commute goes longer. Nobody seems to be able to get to their appointment on time. They're either 1 hour early or 1 hour late. And we can't work like that. Many riders arrive way too early for their appointments and spend other necessary time waiting. And so the system is making it difficult to be reliable. The system is not as reliable as it needs to be. And we know that, and I know that. My office basically pushed for the first ever comprehensive operational analysis of Sunvan, and it's basically an operational review of what Sunvan is. And we've discussed of a bunch of different things like improving service for riders and reducing operating costs and generating savings. But the bottom line is that if we cannot transition to paratransit on demand, we're still running to stand still. Counterintuitive to what you believe, I think being able to get a Sunvan in a 1 hour window and have it pick you up that same day and operate between 6 and 10 p.m. is an attainable goal, it is an expectation, and it's something that we're going to do in the next 3 years. If some of you are familiar with Ride Choice in Phoenix, I think Ride Choice gives us a good model. Ours would be kind of an enhancement to it, but I think that's a good place to start. It gives us those shorter wait times. It gives us more independence. It gives our greatest flexibility, and that's a transportation that works for you. So I want to talk this. So that's Sunvan. All right, website accessibility, and that's ensuring that all of the websites that the city has can be used by every single resident at any time. And an inaccessible website creates barriers that, quite frankly, in my opinion, are not the American way. So we're going to do everything we can to work with the web services team leading the effort. And because of some of the things we've done, we've actually received some national recognition for our website and the improvements on our website in the last year. But my office and Chris are going to continue that work so that we have the most accessible website and web services for a city in the entire United States. That's our goal. Finally, I can't have a discussion with you guys except telling you that Tucson's 5th Annual Disability Pride Day is scheduled for Saturday, December 5th at the El Rio Neighborhood Center. We've sponsored and organized it for 5 years. It's a great program, and it's gotten some national recognition, so we're really excited to have that. This year, United States Artists is one of the leading organizations dedicating to recognizing and supporting exceptional artists from all disciplines. While it's not exclusively disability focused, United States Artists has become a national leader through disability arts through its Disability Futures Initiative, which provides unrestricted fellowships and professional support to outstanding disabled artists. So by investing in that, we get to do some amazing things that many years weren't possible. And I may actually do my Tucson rah-rah rap number with local artist Garrett Silverhall. So, in fact, I'll promise to do that today if you guys can clap loud enough right now. At the end of the day, look, thanks for having me, and thanks for doing what you do. I know it's cheesy when guys like me say stuff like this, but at the end of the day, thanks for inspiring me every day as a public servant. A lot of people have heard I will not be seeking re-election in Ward 2, but thank you for letting me serve you. It's been the ride of my life. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Cunningham. You spoke to some words and some subjects that are very, very important to our community. We are looking for on-demand, ride choice here in Tucson, so that blind and low vision individuals can get to those appointments on time, not an hour early, not an hour late. So thank you for that, and we look forward to partnering with you as we go forward into the next legislative session. So thank you. How many sports fans do we have? Yeah. Just one? Yeah, okay. So, we have a gentleman from the Phoenix Suns here with us today. His name is Eric Bell, and the Phoenix Suns have been working, with the blind community to make the experience of going to their arena and watching a basketball more accessible, more enjoyable for blind and low vision people. So I'm just going to hand a microphone down to Eric, and let's welcome Eric Bell from the Phoenix Suns.
Thank you, everyone. So just to start with, again, my name is Eric Bell, and I'm lucky enough to be the Disability Services Manager for the Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Mercury, the Valley Suns, the G League team, and the Mortgage Matchup Center, which is the arena where the Mercury and the Suns play. So I selfishly take my job as being one of great responsibility, but with that responsibility, really what my goal is to make our arena, our basketball games, our concerts and events as accessible to as many people as I possibly can, so that anyone can come and experience our basketball games, our events in a easy and enjoyable manner. And one of those endeavors has been around the one court device. Could I get a quick round of applause for those of you that have used the one court device? I love that. So our partnership with One Court started not this last Suns season, but the season before that. And when One Court approached us, it really was a no-brainer for us. We figured it would open up a real meaningful sports experience for a population of people that have been underserved when it comes to live sporting events. I'll be honest, the biggest difference to me in getting to watch folks experience these devices for the first time and experience live sports for the first time is really that instead of traditional methods where you're listening to a play-by-play or listening to someone else's interpretation of what is happening, you all are able to experience that for yourselves and interpret what is happening on the court just like everybody else is. And I think the speed with which you get the information is a huge difference maker. And I think it's only a matter of time until more technology catches up. But I think what I'd like to mimic is something that Nancy said, and that's that the blind experience is not my experience. I am a wheelchair user. I have a physical disability that I bring to my job. But that is where I lean on you all to come out to the arena, use these one-court devices, let us know how we can improve, because I am not above constructive criticism in any form or fashion, whether it's getting to the arena, getting through the arena, if it's feedback on ways to improve the one-court devices themselves. We are happy to partner with your community, and really selfishly, I would love to get this entire room out to a basketball game. So I think what I will leave you with is that if any of you are interested in coming out, so currently the one-court devices are available only for the Suns. It is something that we are working diligently with the WNBA to bring to the Mercury. We are hopeful that will be in place by next year's WNBA season. But for now, we have 5 devices available at every Suns game coming up. If any of you have questions about securing tickets or how you reserve a one-court device or how you get to our arena or how we can help you get through our arena, please feel free to reach out to us. Our email address is pretty easy. It's just the word accessibility at suns, SUNS.com. So accessibility at suns.com, and we would be happy to help as many of you experience live basketball as we possibly can. So with that, I will pass it back to Donald. And again, just thank you for the opportunity to join you all today. And please let us know if there's anything we can do to help in the future.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you very, very much. We look forward, of course, to that continuing relationship with the Suns and the Mercury and the rest of your organization. What I want to throw out to our membership, because several years ago, or quite a few years ago, we were asking for audio description at the movie theaters. We wanted to know what was going on the screens, and as a community of blind people, we had to make sure we were going to the movies. We had to support the movie theaters because we were making demands of them, and so we need to support the Suns and their organization so that they can continue to work on one court so that we can have a live experience. I remember going to college football games, even a basketball game, and listening to a transistor radio for the play-by-play. Sometimes I might actually be up to speed with what was happening on the court. But more than likely, there was a delay. And is that full inclusion in society? It's not. So if we want full inclusion, we have to make sure we're there to benefit and use the programs and the technology that is available to us. So thank you very much, Eric. Just real quick, need to do a check. Is Alma Hernandez here? Okay. We will. Give me one quick second. So, so we have a convention, and we use pretty much the majority of this hotel, and that means there's a cost. There's an expense that's associated with putting on a convention. We reach out to the community and ask individuals to help support our efforts to improve your lives. And so I'd like to give some thanks to our sponsors and and welcome them to our 80th annual state convention, and as I said, thank them for supporting the movement of the organized blind people. So we have some Wild West sponsors that have contributed $1,500. So so we partner with Savvy Services for the Blind, and they partner with us. They, Savvy. How many of you have received training at Savvy? Me too. So it's a part of our lives, and Savvy has partnered with the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona and with the National Federation of the Blind. They run the children and youth program at our our national convention. So when I say $1,500, they contribute significantly more in terms of the manpower and the resources that they provide to our organization. So thank you, Savvy. We also have, as a Wild West sponsor, Arizona Industries for the Blind. So Arizona Industries for the Blind, or sometimes we just say AIB, AIB, they provide training as well as career opportunities for blind, for low vision individuals. So we appreciate the partnership, because in the end, one of the things that we are looking for when we say full inclusion, we want those job opportunities. We want those career opportunities so that we can have the life that we would like to live. So thank you, Arizona Industries for the Blind. So, Viewfinder Low Vision Resource Center. I learned something new when I was in the exhibit hall today, and if you haven't been to the exhibit hall, please go and show support for our sponsors and for our exhibitors. I learned that Viewfinder is establishing operations here in Pima County, here in Arizona as well, to provide services for our students, for those individuals that are working, as well as for our seniors. So once again, thank you, Viewfinder. So our cactus sponsors donated $750. I'd like to give thanks to Ira. How many of you use Ira? They have become a part of our daily lives, haven't they? So as a cactus sponsor, they do so much more. They provide us with services so that when we run into areas of our lives that are inaccessible, whether it's a document, sometimes it's our credit card numbers. They provide a service, an instant service that allows us to, to continue to live our lives the way we would like to live, to minimize the inconveniences. There is a gentleman by the name of Everett Bacon who works with IRA, and he serves on our national board. So I'd like to thank Everett and his team for their contributions in terms of manpower, services, as well as a financial contribution. Thank you, IRA. So then we have silver sponsors, and they contributed $500. We have the Arizona Participating Operators Committee, which is APOC. That is our Business Enterprise Program operators. So APOC, in conjunction with the Randolph-Shepard Act, provides job opportunities, whether it's vending opportunities in government facilities or even troop dining, like they do have the troop dining contract down at Fort Huachuca. So they provide some fairly substantial opportunities for blind people as merchants to be entrepreneurs and to run those facilities, and they contribute back to APOC so that they can continue to grow the program, continue to offer more and more locations. So I'd like to throw a shout out to our merchants and those associated with APOC. Then we have some individuals. I'd like to thank Adam Bevel. Adam is one of our blind merchants. Costco Wholesale. This is, I believe it was the Phoenix Costco that contributed to our organization and helped us, help with our hospitality suite and with some of the other food items that we have here at the convention. We have Copper sponsors who contributed $300. We have Big Leap Vending, another one of our merchants. It's owned by Rafael Gonzalez. I heard Rafael out in the foyer earlier talking about that he was here dropping off more items for our hospitality suite, so thank you, Rafael. Vendor Bender Incorporated. Okay. And then we have, so Mike Armstrong is Vendor Bender. So how do we find these sponsors? We have individuals who dedicate their spare time in their lives, and they don't have much. A lot of them have kids who go out and find them. Who's qualified to help sponsor or help find sponsors for our organization? Who is qualified? Well, every single one of you. We all have contacts. We just sometimes have to think about it. But we all have contacts. Individuals such as Matt Mazak gets out there and pounds the pavement. So we'll hear a little bit more about some of the individual contributions. But I did want to, well, first, can I get a time check? 12:58, so we're bearing down on our deadline. So I'd like to once again thank Nancy Gutierrez, Councilman Paul Cunningham and his assistant Chris Despro, Eric Bell, And I mean, without partnerships, we exist alone. And we talked about the blind world and the sighted world and the myth of the existence of those two worlds and the truth that there's one world that we all exist in. And we, as the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona, are demanding equal access, equality, and opportunities in that one world. So, once again, thank you. Before I close out, we have a special guest with us. He's been to over 50 straight national conventions. Yeah. I can't even say 20. He probably knew most of the songs that we played, whether he listens to them or he's heard them on the radio. You know, when we played 80 years of hit songs last night, he's probably heard them before. So he's our national representative, here to represent our national president, and not to give his speech, but to just tell us a little bit about who he is and why he's here this weekend. Here is Karl Smith.
Okay. Thank you, Donald. I do appreciate this, and I'm not that old. I mean, I did recognize a lot of the music, I'll have to admit, and some of it I probably heard when it was new. It is a great pleasure for me to be here. I've really had a good time so far at the convention. You guys have a great convention. I enjoyed a great, lively philosophical discussion last night that was very clever. I wondered how they were going to handle a big crowd of people in discussing philosophy, and it was really done well because I didn't know exactly how you could get everybody talking about certain things, but it worked out well, I thought. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I made a note. I'm from Utah. I'm going to tell Everett, we got to do one like that too. Because it really worked well, and I think it really helped out to help people to understand what we believe and who we are. 80 years of the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona didn't happen by accident any more than 86 years of the National Federation of the Blind happening by accident. It takes work, it takes effort, it takes continual commitment, and you guys continue to do that. I'd like to say I didn't realize that you were going to do door prizes today. I have a door prize. It's in my room. I'll have to bring it down. I do this when I come to be at the National Rep at conventions. I have a quart jar of honey that my neighbor's bees made just for you guys. In fact, some of the honey might very well have come from some of the flowers in my yard because his bees traverse the neighborhood and get nectar from everywhere. And so I'll bring that in tomorrow, and you can choose to give it away as a door prize or auction it off or whatever. It's very good honey. It's some of the best honey that I've had before. It's really very nice. And I also want to say, now, can I say this around Mr. Bell? Can I say Utah Jazz or not? Yeah, I sort of thought maybe that wasn't the best thing to say here, but I would say one of the things that Donald pointed out, and one of the things we did not have the one court thing, and that's probably something we should do. But a couple of years, in the old days, you could go to the Delta Center and bring your radio and listen to the game, and you could hear Hot Rod Huntley, who was one of the greatest basketball, announcers in the world. He could call the game. You could hear that, and you knew that. Well, then a few years ago, all of a sudden, they switched over, and it was on 10-second delay. Well, in a basketball game, 10 seconds is the whole game sometimes. I mean, you might as well forget it if you're going to do that. So we went to the Delta Center and the Utah Jazz and worked out a deal. Now it's not delayed inside there. So now we can hear it straight just like we used to. Now it's not maybe as good as one court could be. I've not used that live. I saw it at convention last year, and it was really quite interesting. I think it's a fascinating concept, and it's something which I think will be, developed further along. But, there are things, I do go to jazz games occasionally. I've probably been to one with the Phoenix Suns maybe. Hopefully one we won, but I don't know. But you know, there are things that I'm not as big a sports fan, for example, as my son is, but you know, we go to these games and we like to be able to access those things. So if sports is not your thing, or if audio described movies is not your thing, or whatever, it's all part of what we do and work together. And I agree with Donald. We need to be part of that by supporting those things. When we ask for those things, and then nobody shows up, it's dispiriting for them, and it's also something which they might not want to help us with if we have anything to do later on than that. So being involved is really very important for us to do that. So go to the games, watch the movies, whatever that we have to do that. You know, become part of that as best you can. I will say some things tomorrow about what the national organization is doing, and then later on I will speak about a little bit in my banquet speech about my history. I have been around a long time. I haven't actually been to more than 50 national conventions. Next year is my 50th national convention consecutive. I never dreamed it would be that way when I went to my first one in 1978. I'll talk about that some tomorrow, about how that happened and how I ended up going to nearly 50 of them already. It's probably a story that many of you have experienced yourself. Maybe not 50 conventions, but you may be part of the federation now that you never dreamed you would be, and you didn't think that would be something would be for you, but it is. So I just want to express my appreciation for being able to be here. I enjoyed the exhibit hall this morning, and I went to the technology presentations and listened to some interesting presentations on meta glasses and other glasses and the music production and all those things. That's fun stuff, you know. You guys do fun things, and this day of sessions and discussions and different group meetings is really good. This is an interesting way to have it. Usually we don't have this much at a state convention as you guys have. You have a great collection of people. I notice that people are so active and interested and involved, and that's terrific. I also admire the work you have together with Savvy Services. I've been around long enough to remember when we didn't like agencies for the blind very much, and they didn't like us too much either. And sometimes there's still a little of that, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. And that's really great because we need each other. We provide different things, and if we work together, we're going to do better on that. So I will do more things tomorrow and hope to be there and give away my big jar of honey to somebody who likes honey. Or you can sell it if you want, whatever you like to do. And I'll pass it back to Donald. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Karl. And while Karl was talking, Alma Hernandez showed up. So Alma Hernandez is our representative from Legislative District 20 here in Arizona. So I'd like to call her to the podium at this time.
Or do you want me to use this mic?
You can put mic on the podium.
Hello, can you all hear me? Okay, I could just use this one. Thank you. So first, thank you for the invite. I'm sorry that I'm late. I had to stay in Phoenix for a little longer this morning to get some work done, but wanted to thank you all for being here. Those of you who are not from Tucson, Alma Hernandez from District 20, which covers basically a good chunk of the Tucson area going on the west side and the south part of Tucson. So wanted just to welcome you to our community. I want to give a special shout out to a very long time friend, Sammy Hamed, who, if you give it up for Sammy, who has been one of my longest supporters and someone that I've known since I was about 14 years old. He is extremely involved in our community. You are all very fortunate to have him as an advocate as well, because every time there's an issue at the Capitol, I do serve on the Health and Human Services Committee, so every time there's been an issue that you are all working on and pushing, the first person I hear from is Sammy. So I just want to thank you all for being here, for being great advocates for yourselves, and just to remind you all to keep working hard and fighting for the issues that you care about. I think it's important for you all to show up. Every year we have folks that come down from different parts of the state of Arizona to advocate for themselves and tell us what the issues are and what it is that you need. So continue to do that. We need to continue seeing you all show up. And I just really want to thank you, and I'm excited to be with you all for the rest of the day. So thank you.
Thank you. Representative Hernandez said some very important words because we can be the voice of Arizona's blind. We can be the voice of the nation's blind, but we have to show up. You know, when there's a legislative alert, a legislative call to order to respond to something, we have to show up, because if we don't show up, the people that might show up in our place, we refer to as, the Vision Industrial Complex. They're about just making money off of the blind, not necessarily ensuring that we achieve that full access and equality and opportunity in society. So if you haven't signed up to our listserv, please do, because we send those alerts out. And when we have to write letters to, whether it's the education committee or specific senators or representatives, we need you to show up. So Representative Hernandez, thank you for talking about that. Showing up, because it is so incredibly important. Thank you. Okay. Somebody on my left keeps whispering door prize. You need a mic. No, if there's that spare up here, take it.
I have a mic for you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the next gift is Starbucks. And we've got Donna Mullen. Donna,
How much is that Starbucks?
$50.
Oh.
I'm sorry, 25. Sorry, guys, sorry. I'm new at this job. Give me a break. Okay, so if Donna's not here, Abigail Gordon.
Oh my God, she wins every year.
Is she here? Yay, come on.
You guys got to jump up, wave your hands, shout, scream, backflips, all sorts of things.
All right. Come on over. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close out this afternoon, or this lunch, because we do have a very, very busy afternoon that culminates with our legislative seminar. I believe it's at 3:30, and then we have a dinner break, and our host chapter, the Tucson chapter, will be hosting a hospitality suite. And they'll be offering some, a food choice, a food item, for a modest donation. And then we'll close out, the actual business part of our day with our resolutions committee meeting later this evening, followed by, the rodeo night put on by the Tucson chapter. We have one announcement, so hold on one.
Hi, everyone. So for the first time ever, we are going to be having one of our breakout rooms is in the swimming pool, water aerobics. So give you guys some chance to make sure you can change, obviously, in your rooms, the restrooms. I think there's an athletics center down. But we really need as many marshals, talking signs as we can. I know we gathered several, but if you people are willing to be talking signs to really help people, like, make their way along those sidewalks to the pool, find those places of change. Sarah, can you shout out? Where are you at, Sarah? She is the queen of the talking signs. So please find Sarah. Please, we need as many as we can to help people get out there and do this water aerobics.
Thank you, and enjoy your afternoon seminars.